VDM, and by extension, the willing GT Bank are both victims of EFCC and the APC-led government. Now, VDM has been calling out APC and has been calling out people in power. So, 7 days ago, he called out, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and one charlatan from Edo State came out to say that VDM must retract that statement and must apologize within 7 days. If not, it will face the consequences. This same man has called out those people who supported, the idea that social media is a terrorist organization that is the Sultan of Sokoto, and he has been receiving threats. And we all know that he has had several issues with past celebrities and other people in the past. And now, he called out Akpabio. Just 2 days before his arrest, he called out Shady Tinubu over Shady Tinubu's alleged involvement in the brutalization of the Nance president. And that infuriated the powers that be. And what do you think they would do? They came straight for him. But VDM, comes out national social media or international social media to say that he went to GT Bank the following day to protest and to ask why his mother's money was being deducted. And so they got the information that he will be going there from his own mouth, and then probably they had laid ambush. But what we all know is that GTB, being a willing to, after VDM finished everything, he was supposed to go, but GTB refused to allow the door open, so that using that met style to delay VDM further, so that the attack dogs, EFCC, who identified themselves as DSS upon arrest, came and then they took his phone. But now, you will see that both, VDM, GTB, and by extension, with the ordinary citizens of Nigeria are the victims of everything. EFCC has become an extension of the APC government. Now, like I always say, the EFCC is an anti-corruption agency that is also corrupt itself. Who would rather go after opposition than to go after the real criminals that are in power? And so now, GTB allowed their bank to be used as the crime scene for arrest of VDM, and that has now made people to go against, GT Bank. That's why I said GT Bank, therefore, is also a victim of this whole system. So GTB has been used. But now, the problem is this. GTB itself called for this kind of things. I'll be posting screenshots. On the 2nd of December, GTB withdrew 89,500 from my account twice, and I went there. They said it was delayed transaction, after delayed debit, after up to a month of going like first. And then what did they say? They told me that I should write. I wrote and everything. They still continued to allow it for this. It was for it, and that service. The report showed. I've forgotten that name it usually shows, but it is the agency that collects money for British Council. And so that time, IELTS in 2023, IELTS was around 89,500. So, but I now realize that on December 2nd, they debited me, and the date that showed on the debit was January 2nd, January something of that same 2024. So I looked at it that I didn't have any such transaction. British Council was not even conducting exam for that amount as at 2024. GT Bank was charging 200 and something thousand already, from 100 and something to 200 and something. The last time GT Bank charged 89,500 was before Tinubu even came to power, early 2023. So I think I'm saying that it was the transaction I had in early 2023 that they debited me for December of 2024. That's about 2 years gap. And then number two, it is not even possible, because before you would even pay that money for British Council through GT, they will send you an authentication code. If you receive that authorization code, that authorization code is what you press in before they will remove the money. So it's not possible for you to now have that transaction completed without using the authorization code and without GT Bank removing the money from your account at that time. So before you would receive payment successful on the other side of the British Council or GT Bank interface, the money must have been removed from your account. So when they remove this money now, and 2 years later they moved money, I went to meet them, they were arguing with me rather than try to investigate, because they said they forwarded it to their fraud department. They never did anything about it. So today 180,000 plus is still with GT Bank. So GT Bank should please return my money, otherwise the dragging is just beginning, and we're all going to close our account with GT Bank. If you're watching this video, if GT Bank has ever done any financial mago for you and they didn't correct it, please go and take your money away from GT Bank. That's what I'll just say. So in the end, I've not seen the money, and it's not possible for me to have had that transaction without the money being removed from my account. Let them come and show me the day I did the transaction and the money was not removed in 2024. It's not possible because the money had already gone beyond that at that time. What I think happened was that there was one time GT Bank was doing this their upgrade of their system, which Access Bank also did. And so it was that period, if you notice, it was in December they did it. It was that period that this money, it was November, December they did it. It was that period that this thing happened. So their system, probably their cash or whatever, must have stored something like, oh, this guy had the failed transaction. Somehow the thing have put it as a successful transaction, because sometimes you will be trying to pay that money, it will not go through, and then in the end it will tell you declined or failed. So those declined or failed now were the ones they charged me for, probably that has been logged on their system. So GT Bank should return my money. Please, if you are watching this, please share it, comment, tag GTB until it gets to them. I remain your boy Ernest Omosope Adebayo Okoje. Please remember to like, share, subscribe and comment. Signing out. Peace.